Hey, it's Free. Welcome to this video blog episode of the Sexucation series. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you love this message, if you even like this message, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share it, because I feel like this information needs to be everywhere. Okay, so attention plus intention during the sexual experience is everything, and it will make it even more powerful, and is one of the most important aspects of actually being present and knowing what your goal is, what your purpose is, what your desire is, even if it is just to please and satisfy your partner. That is okay, just as long as you are focused and you're present in that energy. You're not thinking about, oh, I want to get to this destination. You're just like, no, I want to love this journey. That's what it's all about. So the information that I'm about to give you is from chapter 8 of the book Taoist Secrets of Love, Cultivating the Male Sexual Energy by Mantak, Chia, and I will put the information down in the description box, because that is a really, really dope book, and he has a bunch of really awesome Tao concepts and passing on this energy. You guys have to remember, like, even if you hear all this stuff out there that's saying this stuff is not real, these people did this for thousands of years. They continue to do this for thousands of years, and it has proven to be true. It has proven to be helpful. It has proven to be beneficial. And so what really do you have to lose? Now, it does definitely take dedication and focus. Without further ado, let me go ahead and get to this 3-finger process. So this video is not 15-20 minutes long. Please excuse me. Okay. So, the 3-finger process, also known as external locking. And he goes into great depth in chapter 8 about it, and I love it. So, first thing you want to do, let's keep in mind this 3-finger process. I do have to throw this out. So, let's talk about the 3-finger process, also known as the external locking, because there is a way to do internal locking where you learn how to work those muscles, those PC muscles I talked about in the last video, and I'd rather you read the book in order to pass that information on, because I kind of want to keep this on a beginner basic level. So in the book, these are the steps that he gives. Step number 1, locate that point that I talked about, the perineum, that is between the anus and the scrotum. Step number 2, apply a firm but gentle pressure. So you're not really pushing hard, but you're using enough pressure to, like the type of pressure that you would use to stop the flow of a straw. So you're using firm pressure, but you're not pressing very hard, because obviously that's still a very sensitive area. You're going to use 3 fingers. 3 fingers. There is a tube that goes there's a tube there. It's called the urethra, and that goes in through the man's lingam, and that's where the fluid comes out. So the idea is to stop the flow before it can come out, so that it can recirculate into your body. So you have 1 finger on one side of the on one side of the tube, 1 finger on the other side of the tube, and then this finger is going to actually be on the tube, preventing the flow from coming out. Your fingers will be slightly curved, and you'd really have to see the diagram, and I'll see if I can put the diagram on the video. So you will apply the pressure when the ejaculation is imminent, all the way until the pumping has completely ceased. So you know that feeling, that sensation, you know the pumping that I'm talking about. So what you do is you're applying pressure, especially on that urethra, to ensure that you're not letting anything really come out, and you're holding that pressure until the pumping ceases. That way you still get to feel the orgasmic feeling, you're just not wasting your energy. If you wait for too long, there is no stopping it. So the timing is right, it just takes practice. It takes practice and dedication. Few tips that he pointed out. If you decide to do this, for the first few weeks, do it only once every 2 or 3 days. Again, you are only going to do this once every 2 or 3 days for the first few weeks. Tip number 2, make sure you drink more water during this process, because initially it does increase your internal temperature just for a little while. Eventually you'll build up to the point that you will be just fine in your normal water intake. Strong fingertips are required. Tip number 3. Strong fingertips are required, so do fingertip push-ups if you need to. I don't know how to do it right. Okay, so you're going to do some fingertip push-ups to strengthen those fingers that you're going to be using for this process. And ideally, eventually, you will do this for a couple of months, and then you won't even need to do an external exercise. You won't need to do the external process. You can do the internal process. Tip number 4. Please note that this is not pregnancy prevention. You may still release small amounts of fluid. So if you're going to be doing this, ensure that you either know that your woman is A, not ovulating, or B, you are going to use some form of contraception. Tip number 5. Initially, you may experience fatigue after sex. This is normal. But the more you continue and the more that energy starts to build up within you, you will start to have a very large amount of energy. You will also start to have a little bit of aggression, a little more aggression because you have more testosterone in your body. But the next tip is what you have to do with that energy. You have to remember, you have to find ways to redirect that energy. This is about transmutation so that you don't, because you will feel the urge to release. You will feel the urge to let it go. So ideally what you have to do is you have to find get a new habit. Start going to the gym. You will have more energy. You will need to do something with that energy. You cannot just sit stagnant. You cannot just sit around the house and do nothing. You have to find a way to release that energy that you are building up. Tip for the women. From personal experience, especially because of the fact that we are so conditioned to the concept of this man is not satisfied if he does not have this experience, this ejaculation. You got to let that go. You got to release that concept. You got to release that energy. And you have to understand, he doesn't have to have it. It's okay. He wants to hold on to it. He needs to hold on to it. There will be times when he can release. You will learn. You have to learn your body. And I'll talk about that in the next video, actually. I'll talk about when is a good time to actually release that energy. When is a good time to actually step into that level where you can release it, and how to know when is a good time, because your body will tell you. And if you read all of the NoFap information, it covers all of that, but I'm just going to cover it anyway. Guys, it is very important. It is vital that you understand. You have to make sure that your woman is taken care of. If you are going to go through this process and you find that you will have to stop, because you do want to stop when you're trying to do that external process, if you get to that point, and if you get to it sooner than you're used to, you will have to find a way to please her. You don't want her building up resentment because you're not ensuring that you're giving her a very good journey and experience. Even if she's on this journey with you, make sure you're taking care of her. I cannot harp on that enough. That is so important. So, run it back. Go look at all these tips and everything. I'm not going to do a summary because I've already gone over my time. I want to thank you so very much for tuning in. This has been an amazing experience as I've learned more and more and more. And I just want to share so much more with you as we continue to progress. So stay tuned. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Of course, comments are always welcome. Questions and concerns are always welcome. I'm going to put a lot of information down in the description. So without further ado, peace, love, and light to you. Bye.